More than $102 million was awarded to SpaceX by the U.S. Air Force to help transport military and humanitarian aid worldwide using a giant rocket. According to the U.S. government system for award management, the contract is part of the Air Force's Rocket Cargo program, which examines the use of powerful commercial rockets for Department of Defense worldwide logistics. What are the possible consequences for the economy and the U.S. government's relationship with Elon Musk with the contract award? Never miss a Dinero Association video for the newest business and economic trends. I will regularly update you so you don't miss any of the important happenings. Air Force surprisingly entered into agreement with SpaceX. According to Greg Spangers, Rocket Cargo Program Manager at SpaceX, the contract does not specify which SpaceX rockets will be used for the operation. Insiders' requests for a response from the Air Force and SpaceX went unanswered outside of regular business hours in the United States. The Department of Defense, according to Spangers, is interested in sending goods anywhere in the world to boost humanitarian efforts. The Air Force will collect environmental data for the mission during SpaceX launches and landings, according to Spangers. He also added that most catastrophe zones lack commercial spaceports, so the Air Force is looking into various rural landing options. The Air Force is considering granting contracts to more launch vehicle companies in the future to help with the program. The U.S. Department of Defense is very interested in the capacity to carry cargo anywhere on Earth to enable humanitarian aid and disaster relief. Commercial suppliers foresee fixed point-to-point transportation to establish sites, which is a commercial service that will almost certainly acquire once it is ready. Spangers added that while SpaceX was given the initial contract, the Air Force engaged with other firms and is a part of this program. Rocket Cargo Vanguard, a study into plans to utilize commercial rockets to deliver up to 100 tons of cargo anywhere on Earth, was announced by Air Force officials last year. The new deal doesn't specify which SpaceX launch vehicle will convey this cargo. The AFRL, on the other hand, will be allowed to view and access data for all of SpaceX orbital launches and booster landings to pick and evaluate the best vehicles for the task, according to the conditions of the deal. Reusable Falcon 9 rockets have been flown by SpaceX for many years, and the company has also developed a heavy-lift Falcon Heavy rocket with reusable boosters for larger missions. Additionally, the company is developing the Starship rocket, which will use a reusable Super Heavy booster to launch payloads weighing up to 100 metric tons into orbit around the Earth. Elon Musk, the CEO of SpaceX, claims that the rocket can fly point-to-point around the globe. According to Space News, a demonstration of SpaceX's extensive cargo transport and landing capability will also be required by the AFRL under the new contract, although no specific date has been set. Spangers told Space News that the Air Force will collect data over the following 3 years by utilizing many commercial demonstrations launches, adding that the Air Force does not control this timeline, but rather will collect data anytime SpaceX flies. According to Space News, as part of the contract, SpaceX will design cargo bays for the Air Force, including cargo bays that can be quickly loaded and unloaded and are compatible with the U.S. Transportation Command's intermodal containers. The deal also includes disaster relief and humanitarian aid delivery in addition to cargo and supplies for the U.S. military. However, landing a rocket with crucial supplies will be difficult because there aren't spaceports in every catastrophe zone. According to the Air Force Times, overflight concerns are being addressed by the Air Force Research Laboratory, looking into new trajectories, new financing possibilities for remote sites, and new human elements when landing near populations. Hey, take a breather there for a moment. We're almost there. If you have not yet subscribed, please click the subscribe button to ensure that you don't miss any of our videos. While many people are unfamiliar with the concept of rocket freight delivery, military planners have been emphasizing its unique capabilities, connections to other emerging technologies, and significance to the nature of combat for years. The Air Force conducted a series of clandestine war games in 2016 to evaluate the impact of reducing the cost of access to space for Air Force mission sets, culminating in the release of a rapid global effects capability. In discussions about the East and South China Seas and Taiwan, the term anti-access area denial has become commonplace. However, the concept is not new in history, since armed forces have always attempted to gain an advantage by erecting defensive walls. There's no doubt that this has been going on since World War I, and it's currently being pursued by Ukraine as they accept military shipments from the United States and its allies. Technological advances such as the Manhattan Project during World War II have repeatedly surmounted these principles, despite the significant costs associated with such efforts. The transportation of cargo by rocket starts a technical approach that will profoundly alter the strategic debate over a potential battle with China or other primary adversary. The strategic calculus is influenced by the rapid deployment of supplies and personnel into space to help contingency operations. The ability to land a starship in a harsh environment, the difficulty of targeting rockets' re-entry from the area, the expandable payload, and the potential to launch a variety of additional capabilities from a rocket's cargo compartment are all aspects that could change the character of warfare. Furthermore, Starship's mass-to-orbit capability allows for fast rebuilding of a satellite constellation, and multi-role Starship models allow for on-orbit refueling. These one-of-a-kind mission sets increase the ability to deter aggression and confuse an adversary's strategy. The US military isn't the only one who recognizes that the nature of warfare has changed. China is putting money into constructing its own rocket cargo delivery system. Beijing Lincoln Tianqing, or Beijing Space Transportation, develops point-to-point rockets with a flyback booster that takes off and lands vertically. Their stated goal is to launch from Shanghai and travel 4,350 miles in 60 minutes to Dubai. They have raised around $61 million in Series A/A plus capital to date. This is a capital advantage over the current status of the market in the United States. Several corporations and venture capitalists in the United States focus on funding jets and ramjets that travel at Mach 5 or below. The Department of Defense should prioritize creating connections with industry in the space launch sector as more companies, including Blue Origin, sign the same cooperative research and development agreement that SpaceX did years ago. Capital injection into outstanding U.S. firms specializing in rocket-powered transportation at Mach 5 Plus is necessary to preserve a strategic edge. The cooperation between industry and the Department of Defense is more important than ever before, given the changing nature of combat. Subscribe and hit that notification bell to help us produce more wealth-building content. You can count on Dinero Association to keep you up to date on the latest financial and economic developments. Tell us what you think about this video by leaving a comment below. We are Dinero Association, your partner in building wealth.